July 19th, 2013. A party. I watched the sun rise over the hills and burn through the morning mist. The road followed a river farther into the mountains, and in the late morning, I arrived at the village of Shebellino. I saw a stage with balloons, and a crowd was gathered in a large field at the edge of town. As I pushed my bike across the grass to investigate, an older man holding his grandchild came to greet me. I told him I had come from Portugal, and he immediately took me to where the food was being prepared, then handed me a bowl filled with chunks of meat from 2 buckets. One of them lamb, and the other I couldn't identify. I asked the man, and he made a riding motion, like he was on a horse, and a braying sound like a donkey. I'm still not sure what I was eating. A short time later, the daughter of the grandfather came to talk to me. She had taken English in college, and we were able to have an easy conversation. She told me I arrived for the town's 180-year anniversary. We walked towards the stage where people were taking turns singing and giving speeches. She introduced me to a few of her neighbors, and one of them handed me a toddler. The group laughed as I awkwardly held him. He faced away from me, sitting on my forearm while I cradled his body against my chest. How easily they trusted me was very sweet. I enjoyed being around all the happy people and stayed for a couple of hours. The grandfather invited me to sleep in his home for the night, but I declined. I'd arrived early in the day, and more than anything else, I wanted to keep biking through the beautiful mountains. In the late afternoon, I slept sitting up at a bus shelter while I waited for a storm to pass. I got started again into a drizzle, then chased a blue hole in the clouds for an hour before I was under the sun. The day ended with a steep 6-mile ascent that left me dripping with sweat and breathing hard to get to the top. My legs are exhausted tonight. I stopped to hang my hammock for the night in the pine forest just above the pass at 5,500 feet. I'm at the source of the river that I've been following for the past 130 miles. From wide, fast-moving waters, all the way up to the nearby spring, trickling from the mountainside. I do love following rivers, downhill more than uphill, but that will have to wait for tomorrow.